Good morning, guys. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Basan. Man, what a day. I don't know how many crazy stuff I can take this year. And it's only February. Can you believe it? It's only February and we have so much stuff going on. It's crazy how I think this is probably the worst year ever, as far as life, as far as investing, as far as everything. So I hope you guys are doing okay. It's rough out there. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Days. Good morning, AA, Edward, AP, Manuel. I see you guys. Thanks for coming. This is going to be a very different session. Like, we're not only going to talk about crypto, but we're going to talk about current events. This whole Russia thing, it's basically killing a lot of our portfolios. And I mean, I usually, like, of course the people in Ukraine is probably suffering as well. There are going to be some interesting things. My dates went well. It went well. I'm just like checking out the market right now, or the dating market as well. I mean, it's so busy. It's hard to focus on things when you have stuff like this going on, right? Like I guess that's part of investing is to make sure that you keep up with your investment, but at the same time that might affect your daily mood, your day-to-day, because I know I've been through situations like this, and I've been through the crypto winter of 2017, 2018, and trust me, that was like 3 years of hell. 3 years of hell. So I've been through the 2020 stock dead drop, like due to COVID thing. So it's really terrible. Zero X tendies, I'm not sure what you mean. Omega shit show comp on Ista. Can I send it to you? I don't know what that means. Anyway, so let's do some TA. Man, oh man. So remember on my last stream, we were right here, like 44K. I was like, we need to break out of this downwards channel, because if we don't, we're gonna drop. And look at that. That's why I love this indicator here, the linear regression indicator. So for those of you who are on TradingView, you can get this indicator for free. So you click on indicators and strategies, and then you click on linear regression channel. So once you click on that, this channel will automatically be marked for you on the chart. Now it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. So that's right. If you tune into my last stream, I was like right here. We were right here. I was like, we need to break out. We need to break out fast. Otherwise, this trend will continue. And it looks like it's continuing. And it doesn't look good because we have a support down here at about 33K. But the downwards channel, the bottom of the downwards channel, it's like 29K. So I've been saying 20, and coincidentally, you see how nice it fits right here. That is the previous support. So from July last year, that was the previous support at 29K. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit 29K in the near future. Now I hope I am wrong, and do not take this as a advice, but I hope I'm wrong. Otherwise, we are just gonna slowly go down towards that support, and we'll hope for a bounce, because that completes the whole head and shoulders you see right here. See this chart right here? This is a classic head and shoulders. Head and shoulders pattern. Those of you, let's do some TA alpha right here. Like, this is the classic head and shoulders pattern. If you are a trader, like this, look at this. It's like down to a T. This is how head and shoulder looks like. And if you look at this chart, so if you understand patterns, the smart people will probably sell somewhere right here, or they sell somewhere right here. because you know the shoulder is forming. And usually what happens is, like, we are probably somewhere here, but it's not over. Like, we are gonna hit the right shoulder, which is right here, and that's going to be a really bad pain. I mean, we are close to the max pain down here. This support needs to hold. The 29K support needs to hold. If it doesn't, then we are up for another crypto winter, which VOLATILE welcomes. So yeah, so patterns, say what you will about TA and patterns, they work sometimes. So that's what I have to say about head and shoulders. So this whole Ukraine stuff is messing with our portfolio for sure. Look at this. So when the war started last night, it just drops like freaking 38K all the way down to like 34K. So we're bouncing a tiny bit, but I don't trust this. Even though I know the market's bouncing a little bit, but I don't trust this. It's ugly. It's really ugly. So if you are actually thinking about buying around this time, I think you should be really careful, because oh man, there's still a lot of uncertainties out there. Nothing is safe. Everything's dropping so hard. Everything's red. So man, I'm getting all my investments are dead. This rate, I need a third job. Oh boy. Yeah, it's not pretty. Ethereum is similar. If you look at it, you see that channel hits the top of the band, and now it's rejected, so it's down here. We're just bouncing off the previous support right now, but I don't really trust this. I think we will probably revisit the support again at 23K, and then eventually we're probably going to drop down to 18K-ish, which coincidentally was the previous support, 18K right here. So it's like all similar. This chart is also a head and shoulders, right? If you look at it, it's also a head and shoulders, and the support is somewhere down there. So we are going to draw a horizontal line somewhere down here. So that is the support. Gotta make it yellow. Like, we don't want to hit this. We really don't. So what I think is, over the next few days, we'll probably bounce range bound a little bit, and then eventually we're going to break down. So it's ugly. Man, 1,800 Ethereum. We were at $4,700, $4,800. So if you bought the top, you're in for a long hold. But it's not to say that Ethereum didn't do something like this before, right? If you look at this chart, it certainly did. So it went from 43 back down to 17. So it's definitely possible to drop this much, except that drop was even more violent than today's drop. So remember, we hit the previous high at around March or May 2021, 4,300, and then it just dumped like real fast. This is the fastest dump I've seen, all the way back to 1700s. So we are actually doing a little better than before. Our drop, it's fast, but not as fast as before. So it's definitely possible for it to visit 1700, 1800s. So prepare. So that's crypto in general. But if you look at the stock market, we are, like it or not, crypto is bounded to the stock market, even though people say that crypto is a hedge against inflation, it's a hedge against volatility. It's not. It's really not. It's still like the currency that you're trading against. It is the US dollar. So when the US dollar changes, the value of Bitcoin is going to get affected. So right now, I think a lot of people are selling the Russian ruble to go into the US dollar. So the value of dollar goes up. And now you had to take that account into that, right? So it's gonna affect all markets. That's why everything moves in correlation. Now if you look at our futures market, so right now it's 909. It's almost, the stock market is going to open in 20 minutes. This is, for those of you who don't know, the futures market trades 23 hours a day, and they are really good indicator of what's going to happen when the market opens. So right now all of these are down, But around the world, they're down even further. So the DAX on the German market is down like 5%. This is the overall market's down 5%. The Russian market is not doing well either. It's down 26%. So like Vladimir it's doing crazy shit he doesn't care about his economy. Anyway, we'll go into Russia for sure. But let's look at the tech market. This is what I like to invest in. I like tech. But it looks like we bounced off a little bit, but not so much. Let's see. Yeah, we have some news about the inflation data, CPI data in the United States, but that bounced a little bit, but I don't really trust it. We were down over 3.5%. So now we're back down to 2.78% on the US futures market for the tech. And the S&P 500, which is the actual index that indicates top 500 in the United States, is down 2.2%. So it's actually at 413. Now there was a meme of 420.69. That's like the support of US SPY, but we broke that like overnight. So we broke 420 real fast. So it's not looking good for sure. This is a big support that we're breaking. So I mean we could do some TA on that. So SPY 420, we closed yesterday at 420. Like, look at this drop. It's fast, it's violent, and now we're like down here. So there is a next support at like 406, but like this is bad. So you may be saying like, oh, it's only down 1%. What does that mean? Only about 2% compared to crypto, which goes down like 20% a day. Like this is all the stocks in the US market, every single stock combined together in the index. When this goes down like 2%, billions and billions of people's money are getting destroyed. Your retirement fund, your investment, your hedge funds, like all of them getting destroyed. Look at this. All of these stocks are strong sell recommendation. This is like worse than, I don't know. This is like, if we go back to March 2020 during the COVID thing. I mean, we're still like super high up. Look at this crazy stuff. Like this is nothing compared to what COVID did. This is doing COVID. It went from 339 all the way to 220. Like, if anything, this was the best buying opportunity in like ever, I think. Best buying opportunity ever, COVID 2020. If you bought somewhere down here, look at it. You doubled your money in a year. Like within 1 year, the market kept going up because the Fed kept printing money. Crypto went up as well because of that. And now we're starting to see that to get cracked a little bit. And you can see this channel, it's broken out of the channel and it's been struggling to go in. Every time it goes in, it gets pushed out. So this is another reason I like this indicator. I know all indicators are lagging, but this is a great indicator that tells you exactly what the market is trying to do, right? So if you're smart, you see the price going in, and if you see its rejection right here, you should probably short it. And that's when you can make a lot of money. It's that, like, we need to go back in to this channel if you want to get healthy again. But right now, it doesn't look like it. Look at it. This is pre-market. Pre-market is 411. We're like down here. We're at the support right here. So can it go down all the way down here or down here? Like it could. It could. But if you think that this will happen, don't buy so far. Don't just buy. Don't blow all your load in one go. That's my advice. If you wish to somehow get into this market, buy the dip. Like ladder it in. Dollar cost average. You buy a little bit, use some of your fund, buy the dip here, and if it goes down further, use more fund to buy down here. If it goes down here, if it goes down here, I'm going all in. I'm selling everything I have and go all in if it goes down here. So can it do it? I don't know. It could. I'm not saying it will. Who knows? Nobody knows. If somebody on Wall Street claims to know what's gonna happen, they're full of shit. They're either super lucky or they're just trying to scam you. So don't listen to it. Anyway, this is the market. It's not looking good. We're all gonna get wrecked. Jeez. So ugly. Ugly stuff. I mean, if you zoom out, right, it still looks okay. We're like giant. Remember what I said about red candles. Girls don't like red candles. This is like anxiety. When you have anxiety, during sexy time, this is what you get. You get red candle that's pointing down. Girls like this. Girls like big green candles going up, right? Because when you point down, you can't do anything with your tool. So what's the point? So let's hope the red candle stops. Let's hope the market pops on pills and get back up to the green. Now, let's talk about Russia. I know this is not a political channel. I know. But you can't ignore the events that's happening, because it explains why are we going down all the time, why are we getting wrecked. This event that's happening right now is the reason. Even though it doesn't make sense why it is the reason, but the thing about market in general, market doesn't go down simply because of bad news. Market likes to go down because of uncertainties. When you have unknown in the future, when you have people who are not certain about what's going to happen to their money, to their savings, they usually like to pull out. They like to take the money out and then be safe, because maybe they're near the retirement age. They don't want to be risky. People don't like uncertainties. When you don't have a direction of where things are going, people like to pull out their money and be safe. Now, the events that lead up to what's happening today was this whole Russian-Ukraine conflict. Russian-Ukraine conflicts that caused the whole market to get scared, because they don't know, up until today, they don't know what Russia is going to do. They don't know what Vladimir Putin is going to do to the country and what they're planning. So they pull out the money, and that's why we have these crazy downwards movement for the past few days, because everybody pulled out of the money and they didn't want to risk all that money. Now, the only silver lighting I see is that their fund is still with them. They probably deploy it in some other means of investment. So as soon as all of these conflicts are done, all of these uncertainties are done, they're likely to put their money back into the market. So we will see a day when we go up, a big candle, big green candles. We will see it. It's just that I don't think it'll be anytime soon because of the ongoing conflicts. Now, here's a map of Ukraine and Russia. So for those of you who don't know the geography, Ukraine is on the eastern border of Europe. It's a country. It's one of the biggest countries in Europe, on the eastern border, right below Belarus, and right next to Russia. Now, there's been a historical conflict between Russia and Ukraine, specifically the Crimea region. Russia actually took control of that in 2014. Now, this is now an area controlled by Russia. Now, I wasn't into politics. I wasn't into world events. I don't know what the United States did during that time. However, there are also areas in Ukraine where people support it. They want to be taken by Russia. They don't want to be under European or Western country control. They would like to go back to Mother Russia. So these are the countries that are supporting Russia. And Russia say, we got your back. We're going to come in here and we're going to take you back as well. Basically, what Russia is doing is they want an excuse to take areas in Ukraine into Russia, to absorb into Russia, because it's bordering right next to Russia. Now, Ukraine is a huge country. For those of you who don't know, Ukraine, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Ukraine has the biggest holding of nuclear arsenal in the country, the third largest. So first was the United States, second is Russia, and third was Ukraine. They had a lot of nuclear warheads in the country because former Soviet Union stockpiled a lot of warheads in the country. So what did Ukraine do? Well, Ukraine decided to give up all of those nuclear weapons. I'm not making this up. There's news of it. Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons. So after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So why did they do that? Well, they did that because Western countries came in and said, hey, we're going to protect you against Russia if you give up your weapons. So this is in 1994. So thousands of nuclear arms has been left in Ukraine by Moscow after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. But in the years that followed, Ukraine made the decision to completely denuclearize. Good on them. Nobody wants a nuclear war. In exchange, the US, UK, and Russia will guarantee Ukraine's security in a 1994 agreement known as the Budapest Memorandum. So it's actually three countries, US, UK, and Russia. They will guarantee the Ukraine's security. So as you know, it's totally out of the window today. Russia was like, okay, just give up your weapons. US, UK too. Give up your nuclear weapons. We'll make sure we play nice. We'll make sure we don't invade your country. We'll make sure that you'll be cool, because he's like, Ukraine is like a sandwich jammed between Russia and proxy war between the United States and Western countries. It's a very tough spot. So this is the reality. They gave out their weapon. Now they're totally vulnerable. If you don't have nuclear weapons, you don't have any threats for any country that wants to invade them. If the country wants to invade them, they can just do so because they're not afraid of your nuclear weapons. So that's what's happening. And no, as you guys know, what happened is that the war broke out last night. So many people believe that Russians are only attacking the eastern border of Ukraine right here because it's close to Russia, but that's not true. What's happening? This is confirmed by the people inside Ukraine. What's happening is that Russia is actually attacking the country from all ends, all around the country. As you can see, there's many reports of explosions and warheads going off, tanks and helicopters all over the country. This is a planned attack by Russia. Russia knows what it's doing, and it's just gonna do it. They plan all of this. They know the specific areas they want to attack, and it's all around the country. It's not just on the eastern border. So you got to keep that in mind. And there are a lot of footages of, on Twitter right now, of these attack helicopters going around the country. Like, imagine you are in your country, you go outside and you see this stuff. Look at this. Dropping bombs, like, look at this. These are crazy warheads. Look at this. Holy shit. These are deadly weapons. Imagine them dropping. So I think this is, let's see, footage from airport Kiev shows Russian helicopter coming under attack. Okay, so this is Ukraine defending themselves by hitting these Russian helicopters. So again, I am not sure these footages are recent or old. I am just showing you what's on Twitter. It may not be real, but who knows? It looks pretty real. So, one helicopter down. That's from the Russian helicopter. Look at this crazy giant warhead down here. So, the conflict is happening. The fight is real. It's happening again. So you got helicopters all over your country. This is an air assault from the Russian military. If you're a country like Ukraine, now what are you gonna do? Didn't the US or the NATO allies promise to protect the country? Well, what did the US do? Well, the US currently, what they announced... Oh, those are flares? My bad. Thanks for clarifying that. Anyway, so what the US promised was that we will protect you, Ukraine. If Russia comes to you, we will protect you. We will make sure nothing happens. Well, I don't know. NATO sent some troops over there. And NATO and European countries, they're going to announce some crazy hard sanction on Russia. Like, what can they do, right? I mean, this is like the step before the actual warfare. They're announcing harsh sanctions on the Russian country to make sure their economies get wrecked for the actions they took today. I'm pretty sure Putin already knew about this. He already knew these sanctions are coming. So, a good war strategist can foresee all of these things before they happen. That's why they went ahead with the attack. They know how the United States is going to react, and they know how the NATO is going to react. But this is all according to their plan. I don't know what their end goal is. I don't know what they're planning. But certainly, like right now, this is what's happening. So NATO said they're not going to go in because there's a huge implication of getting actually involved in defending the country. like, is Ukraine our business? Is Ukraine the United States business? You know, if you, it's a country that's like on the eastern border of Europe. Is this a business of the United States? Is this a business of NATO? Is Russia is testing NATO right now. They're testing NATO. NATO's been saying all this time, like, we're united force. It's the strongest force in the world right now. Strongest united force in the world. They're saying, like, don't play dumb. Don't play these games, because if you do these things, we're gonna step in and do something. Well, Russia called their bluff. Basically, they just decide to do whatever the hell they want. They don't care. They're just gonna go in and do this. Now, what are you gonna do? The move is on NATO. What is NATO gonna do? So, you do search on NATO. I don't know what NATO's gonna do. They're holding like an emergency meeting. So, like, this is the thing, right? You have to really think about what you're gonna do, because there's a potential for escalating the conflict into a much bigger thing than it is right now. What the Russian government is saying is that they're just carrying out an operation to demilitarize Ukraine, because they, you know, a lot of people in Ukraine don't want to be back with Russia. Only some areas want to be back in Russia. So Russia is just saying, oh, we're gonna demilitarize you so we can protect those regions that wants to be back with Russia. But this is, I think this is an excuse for them to just go into the country and do this kind of stuff. And think about it, like, Russia, they know what they're doing. So this is the chart of U.S. debt owned by Russia. If you look at it, 2010, they own 160, I think this is billion, right? Or trillion? Billion. I don't know. They own this much in 2010. By 2021, they own this much. Now, you'll be like, oh, did Russia pay off all their debt? Why did Russia pay it off? How did they pay it off this much? From 160 to 4? They paid off a ton of their debt to the United States. What's the reason? Well, the reason is Russia was selling a lot of oil from their country to the United States, to European countries. Russia still has like pretty big oil reserve. So, and that is why the price of oil has been going up. So with this conflict going on, they know that the European countries, United States, it's gonna say, we're not gonna sell you, we're not gonna buy oil from you now, we're not gonna do business with you, Russia, we're not gonna do anything with you. We're gonna just cut off your finance. So, but oil runs the world, guys. Like right now, oil runs the world. When you cut off supply of oil from a specific country, that means you have less supply. And when you have less supply, what happens? Oil price goes up. And that is exactly what's happening. The Brent crude oil, it's been up. If you look at the chart, look at it. It's flying. The reason is there's going to be less supply of oil. When you have less supply, the demand stays the same, then the price is going to go up. So if you're a smart trader, you would have went into oil and commodities in like the past 2 months, you know. So this is why you have to connect these dots together, because when you connect the dots together, you see why things go up. There's a reason. There's always a reason for any of that. So yeah, like, let me see what you guys say. Yeah, Russia has almost no debts. They're one of the richest countries in the world. Their debt's like 92%. So exactly. So they're preparing. You know, they're preparing. They don't need outside countries to sustain their economy. But I also read I'm not an expert on Russia, right? I read somewhere that Russia is also pretty poor itself, as far as like economic development goes, because it's a different country. It's like a communist country. There's limited capitalism in there, limited freedom for, you know, innovation and stuff. But who knows? It could be propaganda. I don't know. Anyway, so like these. Oh my god, I don't want to show this. Whoops. Yeah, it's terrible. I've seen pictures. So I've seen a video where a missile went into an apartment and killed a kid. I didn't see the death, but I saw the apartment going out with flames. I also saw a video inside Ukraine where the dude was just on a bicycle and he got hit directly. He got hit by a warhead on the street when he was riding a bicycle. It wasn't a direct hit, so he survived. He survived and was crawling around after the missile hit. It was disgusting. Like, it's crazy how it's come to this. Alright, the market's opened. Yeah, 2.4. This is disgusting. Disgusting. We are... Wow, we're looking at bear market. Look at this. We're looking at bear market. And I think this whole Russia thing is going to take us to bear market. Holy shit, Nasdaq down 3%. 3.36%. Wait, oh, it's 2.57 now. Jeez. Ugly, ugly, ugly. So that is like what's happening in Russia. Like people, you know, like what do we want to happen? Nobody wants this. Nobody wants fights except for Russia. What is there, like Russia, Putin literally threatened a few weeks ago saying, nobody wants this, but if people want it, we will do it. Like, it's freaking nuts. Wow. 3.26% down Nasdaq. Disgusting, disgusting. Disgusting. Another down day. It's been like down so much. I'm just so immune to all of this crap that's happening. Anyway, how you guys doing? Are you guys buying the dip? Who's gonna buy the dip? And we can look at the chart and see what happens. Looks like we got some bounce on the SPY. This is 1 minute chart, by the way, so it doesn't matter. So Meet Kevin was right. Those of you who don't know, the YouTuber who's like kind of rich, he sold all of his stocks like a few days ago and people were egging on him. I doubt he saw this war coming, so you know, people were like, oh, Meet Kevin was right. He sold all of his stocks. I should have followed. No, okay, this is how you know. Like nobody knows what was gonna happen. There are a lot of people who thought that, oh, this whole, you know, like Putin was putting 300,000 or 200,000 soldiers around the border of Ukraine. People were like, oh, no, it's just a military exercise. Remember what they said? Remember Russians say, oh, no, it's a military exercise. We're pulling back now. So never trust a country like that. Never trust what they say. The United States was completely right. Their intelligence was right. They're like, a war is imminent. An attack is imminent. And they're right. They're completely right. So props to the United States intelligence. You got to trust them sometimes. This is what's happening, and it's not good. Now, what some other people were saying, I think Sam SBF, the CEO of FTX, he's like, oh, people were selling all their stocks so they can fund the war. I don't know how that works because the government has your tax money for war. The government is not selling stocks to fund the war. So that's a really silly statement. Alright, let's watch this. Oh, looks like we got some green can. You see, like, this is me doing wedding night, right? I mean, my future wedding night. I'm not married, but if I was married, this is what I'll be doing on my wedding night because I want it to be a memorable one. Look at it. Pop a pill and go up. So it looks like we're, again, here's the silver lining. Is it silver lining? Yeah, silver lining. I said silver lighting before. My bad. Silver lining. I think with the events happened last night, we are now priced in. It's priced in now. Because we know, remember what I said about uncertainties. People don't know what's going to happen and they're scared because when they're scared, they pull out. Now we know what happened. We know what exactly is happening right now. So people are going to probably ladder back in because uncertainty is certainly lessened a little bit. Now, that's not to say that there are going to be future uncertainties because, like, can you predict what's going to happen next? I don't think you can. Nobody can. So, is the United States or NATO is going to get involved in the military? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think they said they don't want to. Do we want to get involved in another war? I mean, we can't even beat Afghanistan, you know? Like, even though we promised Ukraine that we're going to protect you, well, now, like, what do? It's happening. How are you gonna protect them? And it's already too late. Russia can take over this whole freaking country in a week, I think, if nobody defends them. So nobody knows. It's like, again, like, you know, like Trump said, nobody's gonna tell the world what they're gonna do before they do it. Right? Like, if you're gonna fight a war, you're not gonna tell people, I'm going to invade you in 24 hours. You don't tell people. People are just gonna, it's gonna be surprised. Oh my god, look, I guess somebody blew their load. This is like wedding night, right? You're ready, you're good to go, and then like 2 pumps later, you're done. So these candles, man, these candles are, and then you rest for a minute and you go for another round. I mean, that's how people do it, right? You go for 2 or 3 rounds and then you go to sleep. In some cases, you call a cab. Jeez, Dow down 800 points as Russia attacked Ukraine. Nasdaq falls into bear market. So we are in a bear market in the market. Oh god. How's crypto growing? Alright, so you see how they all move in the same direction? Look at this. They're all tied. Everything's tied. Algos control the world. Algos control the market. I really hope we go green today. I don't know if it's possible though. But this market, like 2.4%, I think it's possible to go green. Why? Because the uncertainty is lessened. Remember what I said, uncertainty. The lesser the uncertainty, the more likely people are going to feel comfortable. Yeah, gold is dipping. Let's look at gold. So gold's been like a good hedge for, I don't know which one's gold. Is it this one? Let's look at this one. Yeah, gold's dipping a little bit. Yeah, so like what this means is that people are selling gold to go back into equities once the uncertainty is over. Wow, we're actually jumping. We're jumping. Let's look at QQQ. So this is the tech index. Oh, we got a big green candle right here. All right. That's what I like to see. Ladies love green candles. Milish Meerkat. How's it going with your mom's friend? We went on a date. I went on a nice hike on Sunday with her. It's nice. You know what? Like, I think it's really nice when you're back on the dating scene. You just meet so many new people, and you know that people are. I love girls. I love women. I know there are some women with issues we got to deal with, but they're people. So I find it really interesting to get to know people and know different types of people. So I'm searching for a wife. When I'm searching for a wife, it's like searching for a job, right? You want to make sure your personality fits. You want to make sure you guys fit both personality and goals and values and all that. Like for your wife, man. Like I only want to get married once. I don't want to get divorced and do it again. I only want to get married once. So I want to pick the best person I can pick and person I'm cool with, I can vibe with, to be my wife. And to have a little Degens with, right? So you gotta, dating is hard in 2022, but I take it as a challenge, and I want to find a wife this year. EU and USA were sleeping while Russia was preparing since 2014. I think that might be a good statement. 2014, right? That's when Trump became the president? Or 2017? I don't know. It's been so long. Yeah, United States, man. Like, US has been dealing with a lot of stuff within its own country. So they are not really paying as much attention as they should about all of these world like events. Russia, like, I don't know, man. You look at this. This is planned. This is a planned attack. You look at this, you'll be like, that's how you That's how you take over a country. That's how you demilitarize a country. I'm pretty sure Russia has a lot of spies and intelligence embedded within Ukraine for the past few years, so they know exactly where things are. So this is a very, very calculated, planned attack. So, of course, and they're not stupid. They know what the United States and other people are going to retaliate, how they're going to respond to this aggression. They knew it. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind they know what the United States is going to do. But they didn't care. They went ahead anyway. So there must be a good reasoning for them to do it. They don't care about the sanctions. Trust me. Like what does the United States, like, okay, we're going to do additional sanctions to Russia. Europe is like, we're going to do the worst sanction you can imagine to your country. We're going to cut you off completely. There's even a rumor that they're going to freeze the bank account of all Russian people in Europe. So I think that's a good ad for Bitcoin. So Russia knows this is what's going to happen. They don't care. They don't care. Yeah, so Biden has a chance to deliver severe Russian sanctions. So I want to know what these...
We heard a series of explosions.
I want to know what these severe sanctions are. Okay, he's going to announce it today. So nobody knows what exactly does these sanctions involve. Yeah, so Britain too. So it's like everybody, the world's going to be like, well, not the world minus China and the other. Oh, we're going to talk about China. They're going to announce severe sanctions against Russia. All right, so I think if Putin is smart about this, he probably could have predicted what these sanctions are and prepared his country for that long before this incident. So now it's like a chess game, right? So Putin made his move in the Ukraine. Now the United States responds with a move. Now if Russia is smart chess player, I play with Russian chess players, they're really good. They probably know what the sanctions are already. And they've been preparing the countries for it. Remember, Russian soldiers are freaking crazy sometimes, and they can take hardship. So if the country, like their country is more united than the United States because they're like one party system. The people in Russia are usually very patriotic. So if the country tell them, hey, we're going to endure hardship for a few years for the good of the country because we want to get some land back in Ukraine, the people will do it. The people will take the hardship and unite together for that. So this is the difference between Russia and the United States. If you try to do that in the United States, people will go up and protest and be like, no, why should we? We don't want war, blah, blah, blah. It's like very divided, right? But that's what you get in a free country, free democracy. People can voice their opinions and do what they want. Russia, even though if you oppose the government, you cannot voice your opinion. Because if you voice your opinion, the government is going to come after you. Same as with China and things like that. So this is the difference. So they are united either by nationalism, patriotism, or by force. They act as one. So this is the difference between Eastern, like communist countries, and Western democratic countries. So yeah, again, I'm getting a bit political, but this is like we're trying to analyze this whole situation. You are going to get, you are going to get some sort of response from Russia about these sanctions. What can they say? They're going to be like, oh yeah, screw you guys, screw your sanctions. We're just going to continue to do what we want. Now what do you do as the United States or the NATO? What are you going to do? You're probably, like, you got no other moves. The only other move is to move troops into the country and defend Ukraine. Now you have an actual conflict between superpowers. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Russia has nuclear warheads. Some countries in Europe have nuclear warheads. The United States have nuclear warheads. They can send some, one of those, what do you call it? Aircraft? No. The thingy on the sea, right? Submarines. They can send submarines in this area and just launch a nuclear missile right there. Nobody can really beat the United States as far as like Navy goes. So it's gonna be a nasty war. So yeah, we're dropping it. Whoa, we're dropping. Looks like this pump didn't sustain that much. We're still down 2.3%. Jeez, AVAX at 67. Holy crap. I really like AVAX. I mean, I don't have much money left. Like, whoa. I like AVAX at 50 bucks. Honestly, if AVAX goes to 50, I might YOLO. Jeez. It actually hit 50 the last drop, right? So this is like the hard support here. Man. Right here. But if you look at it, again, look at this linear channel. This is disgusting. Disgusting. So AVAX could potentially go even lower. So 50s is the next price watch for AVAX. People say in the bear market is where you go shopping for good technology. I think there's some truth to that, and I might go shopping. Now, where do I get the money to go shopping? That's a good question. I might clear some more toilets on the weekend. We'll work overtime, I guess. If I work overtime, I might get some good money to just YOLO into AVAX. But geez. Alright, we're coming back, right? Looks like we're coming back a little bit. I really hope we get a green day. If we can get a green day, what do I do? What would I do? I'll dance around naked in my home. If we get a green today, alright, I'll dance around naked in my home. Oh yeah, let's talk about China then. So if you are China, here's an interesting comparison. China is, China's a good whoa. You see, China's been doing this shit for months, for years. They're just flying their ship around Taiwan just to show their military prowess for the past years. So this is just 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, Taiwan reported 9 Chinese aircraft in its air defense zone. This is serious, guys. Like, this is real-time shit happening. So, this is a map. This is the map. Now, China is a good friend with Russia. They're both communist country, and they're like the superpowers of the East. Taiwan, I can doing like little history. China was like long time ago. China was a country that's kind of divided. The people weren't united, and everybody was the technology in the country was weak. It was getting bullied around by all the countries in the world. Western countries came in and took Hong Kong. Japan invaded China and just destroyed China so much. The people lost so many lives over there. Then the leader in China at that time, Mao Zedong, came to power. He united the people. But people don't know that before he came, he helped defend China against Japan during World War II. There was another party in China, Chiang Kai-shek. So he's the guy who's like the, I guess you can think of him as the democratic leadership of China. He likes democracy. He wants democracy in China, Chiang Kai-shek. But Mao Zedong is a communist. He's a really good friend of Russia. Russia was talking to him all the time in China. They gave him ideas. They gave him weapons and assistance. Russia wants China to be a communist country. So it was Mao Zedong versus Chiang Kai-shek. So both of them were fighting actually inside the country for power. Whoever wins is going to transform China into either a democratic country or a communist country. As you can see today, China is a communist country. That means Mao Zedong won. So this guy he's the guy on the picture of in the Tiananmen Square. That's the guy, right? So he's the communist guy in China who won, and he became the first founder of China, and that's why his picture is in the Tiananmen Square all the time. And his body is actually preserved in there with this Soviet symbol there. So that's China. That's the leader of China. So, and then you got this guy, Chiang Kai-shek. He's a guy who was a democratic person in China. He wanted China to be a democratic country, but then he lost. So he lost to Mao Zedong. And what did he do? When he lost, he escaped to Taiwan, this island right here on the southeastern part of China. He escaped to Taiwan. So Taiwan became a very, very democratic country. And throughout history, it's been a country where the United States have huge interest in. The United States gave its support, have its back for the past decades. China is like, wait a second, Taiwan, you belong to us. You are part of China. I don't know what you're doing there, taking help from America. So it's been this like stalemate for decades. They've been throwing their planes over Taiwan for a long time, really long time. They've been doing Air Force exercises all the time near the country. So it's basically threatening Taiwan and say, hey, you belong to us. We don't care what the United States says. You belong to us. We can take you back in a week or in a month. So Taiwan is like tiny. Look how tiny Taiwan is compared to China, right? It's like a tiny island. So China can take Taiwan anytime they want. However, the only thing stopping them is the United States and Western countries, because they have interest in there. They don't want Taiwan to fall under China. Now China is like, what the hell are you guys doing? That's our country's business. Get out of our country. So this has been like going on for the past few decades. That's the situation there. So now with this Russia doing whatever the hell they want, I think situation is kind of similar, right? Ukraine is like Taiwan and Russia is like China. So now Russia just straight up ignore everything, just say, all right, screw it, we're just gonna go in there. Now all of a sudden you get this news right here that, oh, China's showing something, it's doing something. Now this is not new, right? Air Force airplane exercises around Taiwan. It's nothing new. China's been doing this for months, for decades. So now a lot of people are saying, hey, the NATO countries, United States, Europe are busy with Ukraine right now. So if you were China, what would you do? People are thinking, you know what? If you're China, and there's zero chance that China doesn't know what Russia was gonna do. China probably knew. Russia probably gave China the heads up, saying, yo, bruh, I'm gonna invade Ukraine tomorrow. All right, so I'm gonna let you know. It's like saying, now might be a good time to take over Taiwan. So again, uncertainty, right? People don't like uncertainties. If China decides to take this opportunity while the United States is busy to take over Taiwan, I think there's no better chance than now to do it. Even though I don't want any of this to happen, there's no better chance to do it than now. Strategically. Now, China has so much more to lose than Russia. If you remember the trade war between China and United States during the Trump era, nobody wins in a trade war. Nobody wins in a sanction. China is a huge country with a lot of people and a lot of mouths to feed. If the United States or the Western countries cut off its sanction and will sanction China, it will have much, much bigger impact on the whole world. It's not just China. It's going to impact the United States. Why do you think everything you see on the street is made in China? If you're in the United States or anywhere. Most of the stuff is made in China. China is the factory of the world. If you cut off China, the whole world will suffer. And that is the only reason China is not attacking Taiwan right now. In my opinion. That's the only reason. It's a loose, like you get a tiny island there, sure. But the consequence is huge, huge. And also like money talks, guys. In the end of this, it's all about money. Yeah, it's all about money because nobody wants to lose money. All these business interests, the people control the world are people with money. When you're fighting for something, you're fighting for money, for resources. In the end of it, that's all it is. Scarcity drives the world. Yeah, And yes, I'm looking at chat. Like John Cena is a perfect example. This guy is like a wrestler and stuff. He says something about China, something bad, I think, about China, and then he apologized in a really weird, awkward video in Chinese. He spoke in Chinese to say, "I'm sorry, China," because all his movies, like most of his movies and merchandise and shit, are sold in China. Money talks. You have you sell out. You know that's just one person. So if you're a country, you have so much. You got trillions of dollars to lose if you stand against China. That's the reality. Nobody wants to sanction China. China doesn't want to sanction China. That's why this whole Taiwan situation is not. I mean, if this whole sanction thing was not a threat, China would have taken Taiwan like years ago. Years ago. That's how crazy it is. All right, looks like we got a lot more green candle. Look, oh whoa, are we actually gonna go green? Do I have to dance around naked in my house? I mean, I don't mind dancing around naked, but like, jeez. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, let me read some of your comments. Ukraine needs to join NATO right now, but NATO will probably just send over 1,000 missiles. Yeah, okay, so Ukraine wants, I don't know. I think this whole thing also started because Ukraine wanted to join NATO. I don't think Russia wants Ukraine to join NATO because it's a huge threat. It's like having United States right on your front door. Of course, Russia is not going to allow that to happen. So this incident may also be why. They just want to deter Ukraine from joining NATO. And probably, I don't know if NATO actually wants to get Ukraine in there now, because it only furthered the tension in that region. Oh, okay. They can't join NATO. NATO cannot accept countries who are in a war, which Ukraine has since 2014. Yeah, there was that conflict, right? The Crimea annexed by Russia in 2014. So this whole time, they've been in a conflict. I heard there was like missiles flying into the country from these annexed regions, or separatist and regions, with like regions that want to break out of Ukraine. There's been some infighting, of course. So it's not always been a happy day in the country. It's always been fighting since 2014. Like, why can't we all get along, right? But unfortunately, human nature, we fight for resources, we fight for ideals. So you cannot have 100% peace. So it's really hard. Have I talked to my date about WMemo? No. If you talk to your date about WMemo, it's a guarantee for a red candle. Let's just say that. Hard asset prices will spike after this. Cars, houses, farmland, machinery, computer, cell phones become sort of China becomes short if China invades Taiwan. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you're not gonna get much produce done. You know, the factory of the world. If the factory of the world stops producing, you're gonna get shortage of everything. And when you get shortage of everything, the price goes even higher. So nobody wants that. Why is Ukraine the West's fault? Featuring John, University of Colorado. Search for this guy YouTube. It predicts today and motivate. Oh, thanks, attendees. I will watch that. Yeah, I like it when people who actually do real analysis on the situation, rather than just read headlines and see what the news is happening. I like this kind of. I read stuff on Wikipedia when I'm bored. I like to read about history, the conflicts, and all of this stuff. Trying to understand like why is this happening, right? Whenever you read news on CNN or something, like you have to understand try to understand why something's happening. What are the motives on both sides? That's what we want to know. Because that's only when you get smarter. You can't just read the headline and accept exactly what it is. You have to read why something's happening. They're not even going to stop the banking system against Russia yet. So it goes both ways. When you stop the banking system against Russia, it goes both ways. That means money cannot go in and money cannot go out. It hurts both sides. That's why they're not so easily trigger happy to do this, right? Because they need to think about the consequences. So EU sanctions. Yeah, I don't know what the exact sanctions are from EU. Like, have they announced it yet? Have they announced the actual detail? So they're coming out with packages, I guess. Oh, okay. EU to, I don't have time to read this yet. I'll agree. EU to bar Russia from key markets with harshest ever sanctions. We will freeze Russian assets in the European Union and stop the access of Russian banks to European financial markets. Yeah, so that's about all they can do, though. You stop the financing of the country. I mean, like I said, it goes both ways. If you stop the financing, that means your market gets destroyed because you don't have fresh funds from Russia. And Russia doesn't have fresh funds from Europe or other countries. It goes both ways. Hard sanctions, they go both ways. So it's not just like one way. It hurts more Russia, for sure, of course. Because EU, you have other partners in the world, right? But it definitely hurts Russia more than other countries. Oh, damn, don't drop, guys. Come on, I'm looking forward to dancing naked. People like piling in on Biden. I am not going to go into politics, but if you are Biden or like the president of the United States, like what are your options? It's not an easy answer, because everything you do now will have consequences, will have future consequences. So, is it going to be something? And like, will there be a peaceful solution to this? I heard Russia is ready to talk to Ukraine. I saw some post there. I couldn't verify it, but apparently Russia told Ukraine like, "Yo, bro, we're ready to talk." Like, it's like you come in there and beat people up, kill people. Dude, there was like at least 50 people died already. You go into a country and kill people and say, "Bro, I'm ready to talk." Like, come on. I know it's Putin. I know it's, you're basically playing the bully right now. Ukraine's definitely getting bullied. There's zero chance Ukraine gonna beat Russia. Zero. Everybody knows what's gonna happen if they keep this up. So I don't know. If you're Biden, then what are you gonna do? What can you do? You got sanctions. All right. Russia saw this coming. They don't care. It's gonna hurt them, but they can probably endure it for a while, maybe until they take over most of Ukraine. Have I looked into the drip garden? Bro, I've been researching drips for so long. I will do a video on it, but all I can say is it's a scammy something project. But I know how it works though. So yeah, Taiwan is like a semiconductor capital of the world, factory of the world. So this is how, I mean, we can look at like what else is happening but it's gonna dominate the headlines for the foreseeable future. I'm actually surprised we're only down 1.79%. We were down 3% plus. So some people are buying that dip. Some people. But why are they buying the dip though? And we can look at Wall Street Bets to see what they're saying. And Putin. So he has puts in his name. So the sign was all there, guys. Vladimir Putin. He's telling you to buy puts. Anyway, if you guys want access to this app, trayiv.com, sign in with your Google accounts. It has a live Wall Street Bets chat stream down here. These are severely degenerate people talking about what they're gonna bet on. So don't follow what they do though, unless you are a degenerate like they are. What's my thoughts on Wonderland's future? I have no idea. I'm probably gonna take the rage quit option, just cut my losses. Whoa, we got a big candle. Bigly. We got a bigly candle. Girls love candles. Oh man. No, there won't be any nukes. If you think there's gonna nuke, like nobody in their right mind wants to use nukes. Nukes are the last option. Because when you set off nukes, it's gonna, well, let's just say that the Third World War, if we use nukes, we're gonna go back to the Stone Age. That's how it is. There's enough nukes in the world stockpile to take out like every country, to totally destroy the world. We have the power to destroy the world. And you know what's happening? Like nukes are one thing, but when you have enough nukes all over the world and detonate them, it's gonna screw up our atmosphere. It's gonna screw up our layers in the world. Right? We're gonna get nuclear winter. You got nuclear winter. You got no plants. You got no plants. You got no food. You're gonna war hunger. And then, not to mention all the deaths. Nobody wants nukes. All right, nobody. Nodes, not nukes. Yeah, nodes. The other thing I had to look into. No, but like right now, everything's dipping, guys. Everything's dip. What are you gonna do? Are you guys buying? Are you guys actually buying the dip? Let me see. Are you guys buying the dip? Yes. No. I'm putting it in a poll. Are you guys buying the dip? So, like, if people were like, okay, what do I do in this situation when the market keeps dropping? Well, the VIX is what you want to do. VIX is the inverse market indicator. So when the market dies, VIX goes up. When the market goes up, VIX goes down. So for the past days, I guess, look at it. This is the VIX chart. This is the volatility chart. Remember what I said about uncertainties. When you have a lot of uncertainties, this shit goes up. Look at it. This thing, it's been going up like mad. It was, look at this is during COVID. Holy crap. From 14 to 90. That's like sevenfold in like a week. This is during COVID. And then after that, it just starts to die. So whenever you see a spike in the VIX, that means the stock market is tanking. So we've been tanking. We've been going up a bit. As you can see, it's very cyclical, right? You gotta go up and it's gonna drop. When it drops, the market goes up. So it's like inversely correlated to the market. You can certainly buy the VIX if you think the market is going to drop, or you can buy some puts. Those are the ways you can defend your portfolio. Now, I am seeing a green candle on Mr. QQQ here. Sorry, I like to look at QQQ. It's more, so this, whatever you look at this in the crypto, it's going to be similar. The chart's going to be very similar. Yeah, you see that? So no point. Let's just look at QQQ. Just think this is crypto too. We got some buying action. People are going at, it seems like it's now finally priced in. People were like, "Oh, when is Russia gonna attack? When are they gonna attack? We don't know." But now we know. They already attacked. I wonder if there's any new developments about. Holy shit! Is that an airplane down? Holy crap, guys! This is serious business. Man, I don't have subscription. If you have family and friends in Ukraine, please reach out to them. Try to make sure they're safe. This is terrible situation if you are in Ukraine. I have a Belarus friend, so this is not good for people there if they have family there. So please, and people be like, okay, we can send prayers, but prayers don't solve wars, don't end wars. So you have to do something to help end wars. So apparently, these are the like live updates of what's going on in the market. So yeah, they're attacking all fronts. They actually went all the way here to attack. It's nuts. So this is going into a full-blown war mode. Russia invades Ukraine, and Ukraine has every right to defend themselves. So they shot down some Russian aircrafts. And I read somewhere that the Ukraine actually has better tanks than Russia. So that's the thing. There's a lot of old tanks in Russia. Wow. Russian military claims 74 Ukrainian military facility has been destroyed in the first hours of war. Jesus. 74 military facility. This is what I call calculated attack. They're not just attacking random places. Russia is going after these military facilities to de-arm the military of Ukraine. Now, what do you do if you want to invade the country? Of course, you're going to de-arm the military first. So they don't fight back. When a country cannot fight back, there's nothing they can do except to surrender. What? Pakistan Prime Minister meets with Putin amid Russia's declaration of war. This guy, Putin, is meeting other dude when his country is... Man. French president decries the most serious attack on peace and stability in decades. Wait, did France surrender already? I think France surrendered. No offense to my French viewers. Let me see what the poll says. Alright, so you guys buying the dip? Wow, 55% of you actually buying the dip, huh? Okay. I don't know about buying the dip though. It's kind of... I'll actually wait for future development until I can buy the dip. NATO to deploy more troops to Ukraine amid Russia. Okay, what are you going to do though? Are they going to be fighting? What does that mean? Let me zoom in so you guys can see better. In the coming days and weeks, well, there won't going to be a Ukraine left in weeks. We will further increase our presence in the eastern part of the alliance. Alright, so they already have some soldiers there, so they're going to increase their presence. China big surprise. China refuses to condemn Russia, blames US for fanning the flame. Whoa, okay. I want to hear what this means. What is this? What? China on Thursday refused to condemn Russia's war on Ukraine, questioning whether it was really an invasion, and instead blaming the US for fanning the flame of tensions. This is perhaps a difference between China and you Westerners. We won't go rushing into a conclusion, spokesperson in the Chinese Foreign Ministry told reporter. Regarding the definition of an invasion, the Ukrainian issue has other very complicated historical background that continues to today. It may not be what everyone wants to see, she claimed. Instead, some countries have been following the US in fanning the flame. We object to any action that hypes up the war. China also on Thursday offered Russia an economic lifeline amid the rush to sanction. Holy shit. Guys, I call this. Well, everybody knew this. It approved imports of wheat of all regions of China, one of the world's biggest producer, which has been cut off on China now. Wow, you see, this is war game, guys. They're playing games with people's lives. They're playing games with our portfolios too. Obviously, China is a big ally to Russia. And what this guy is saying, instead of blaming Russia for starting the Ukraine thing, they're like, oh no, we're gonna blame the U.S. for fanning the flame. And then China is like, don't worry. If they sanction you, you got a lifeline in us. We're gonna support you with our wheats. Oh boy. This is like, well. This is how world wars are starting. You know how alliances are formed. Man, I already called this. Everybody knew China is gonna defend Russia. Alright. Putin's buying the dip. Whoa, okay, nice. Guys, when your package is in this angle, the girl is gonna get satisfied. Guaranteed. So girls love this angle. Alright. Holy shit, we're at 0.0. Oh my god. Do I really have to dance naked? If we go green, I'm gonna dance naked for sure. I promise. I'm not, well, I can't film it, right? But you have to subscribe to my OnlyFans. But geez, looks like we're going back. Oh, alright. Remember what I said about uncertainties? Remember what I said about how the market doesn't like uncertainties? Well, the silver lining is that we are now certain what's happening. Somebody bought the dip though. Look at all these volume, guys. Somebody bought, look at this candle right here. Some Chad just bought a ton of dips. Alright, cool. AVAX back to 70. Nice. That's what I'd like to see. Let's go. UK leader Boris Johnson say our worst fear have now come to. Alright. You can keep saying that, but do something, dude. Do something. Biden to meet with G7 allies early. It's no longer G8 because Russia is out. It used to be G8, so now they're just gonna meet with 7 other people. Man. Oh, Ukraine mocks Putin with staggering Hitler cartoon. They're comparing Vladimir Putin to Hitler. Oh God. Jeez. Alright. I mean that's all you can do, right? Ukraine. Nothing else you can do. You can mock for sure. This is how war in 2022 is played out with memes. We all know Putin is kind of short, so they're like, "Oh, it's okay, little boy. You're gonna be all right." Yeah, that was the apartment that was hit where a little girl died. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. More than 40 killed in Ukraine as Putin launches deadly missile strikes. So what's that? Why are we green though? I really wish my harmony goes up even more. Where's the top 10? So apparently Binance has a stable coin too, and it's entering number 10 in the world right now. Alright, we're recovering a little bit. I hope we keep this up. I hope the candle keep on going. We're very close to the gap, which is up here. This is the gap we want to look for right here. So we want to hit the gap. You see how this channel indicator is so good? So we're gonna probably go down a little bit, probably down here, and we're probably gonna go swing back up. So that's the hope. Man, if we go green, dude, I can't believe we're going green. When Putin coin. Is there a Putin coin? Yeah, war to cover inflation. Yeah, like you see how funny all of a sudden people don't care about the inflation news anymore. People don't care about how the Fed's gonna raise the rates. So before today, the chance of the Fed raising the rates, according to poll, was 99.9%. They're gonna raise the rates in March. After today, the chance of that happening became 87%. So there's actually people, maybe that's also why we're going up, because people were thinking, oh, we have this war going on, maybe we don't want to raise the rates yet because of these crazy environments, let's hold it off. So people were like, okay, cool, maybe we're gonna raise the rates less now because of the war. So again, these are all the things you have to analyze when you trade, right? To figure out whether something can be a reason for why something is happening. It is, yeah, D wave. Listen, man, it's been a rough 2-3 years. We got this whole COVID shit for like 2 years. All these news, all these people refusal, all these people taking vaccines and all that shit. And then right after you got, oh, we got a crazy inflation now because we printed too much money. Now we need to figure out how to get the inflation down. Okay, we're gonna raise the interest rates. And then Putin comes around and says, oh boy, by the way, I'm gonna invade Ukraine. Now where are we? Like, where are we, guys? We're in a really rough. There's so much shit happening in the first 2 months. So much happening that we are trying to figure out, like, what else can happen? It's only February, guys. What other shit is gonna happen? It's a terrible. Whoa. Holy shit, do I have to dance naked? Oh my god. Are we actually hitting this? Are we actually going green? This is incredible, guys. Let me see the Wall Street Bets chat. Guys, we were down 3% on the futures market. 3%. And we're back to 0.24. Are we actually gonna go green? Do you guys want to see me dance naked on my OnlyFans? You don't want to see it. Trust me, you don't want to see it. But I like to see green though. Wow. If you bought puts, you're screwed. This is nuts. What a way to do volatility. Did any news came out? I don't know. What did anything came out? Do we have like a news? Why are we going back up? Wait, why is North Korea trending? What the hell? Did North Korea do something? Okay, good. Okay, I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Alright, what's new? I don't think there's anything new. It's just we are now certain of what's happening. Yeah, so the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, is going to sever all diplomatic ties with Russia. It's like he's breaking up with Russia. Holy shit, what is this? Man, imagine going outside and see this stuff falling from the sky. How old is Putin? How old is this guy? Holy shit, he's 69 years old. This guy is 69 years old. Wow. He's been president of Russia since 2012. He's in power for over 10 years. Wow. I mean, he certainly did a lot of shit. He's like short. Sorry, he's like 5'5" or something. So compared to Trump's like 6'3". What's his height? 5'7". I don't think he's 5'7". He looks way shorter than 5'7". So there was like a video of him forcing someone to sign it. It's like he's forcing people to sign some shit. Look at it. This is like freaking.
Did you sign it? Did Oleg Vladimirovich sign it? Why don't I see your signature? Come here and sign it. Come to me.
That's like the boss of a country, right? This is his parliament.
This contract right here.
He's looking at him like, why didn't you sign it?
And now give me my pen back.
Yeah. You see, like, he's a very bossy person. You know, he's like he has this boss attitude. When people don't listen to him, he's gonna be pissed off, and people are scared of him when they're in the room together. So, yeah, his parliament's for show because he's the one who has most of the power in the country. His parliament is gonna do whatever he asks them to do. That's how it is. That's Russia. The guy controls Russia. Man, I've got some videos. Yeah, this is Kiev. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. It's going up in flames. Yeah, no, that video, it may not be his parliament, but one of those country. Oh no, I think this was for a country, a factory, a company, somewhere in Russia, where people were not agreeing on something. So he stepped in. He's like, "Bro, sign this right now," and then the guy just signed it. I think that's the real story. Sorry. So it's like, imagine the president of the country comes to your company in a board meeting and say, "No, even though you don't agree to what the company wants to do, the president comes and forces you to sign it." So that's the difference between, you know, that country and United States. You see, look at this back up here. This is a wave down and then eventually come back. All right, well, I was so close to dancing naked. It was almost going green, but now we're going back to red. Oh, okay, you guys updated the chart. So actually, most of you are not buying the dip. Okay, good. I am not buying the dip either. Mostly because I don't have any more money. Otherwise, I would probably. Wait, what? In the name of humanity, bring your troops back to Russia. The world reacts as Russia forces invade. So what do people do? People can just beg? Like, if you tell Putin that, he's not magically gonna say, "Oh, you're right, let me pull my troop back," because you are begging him. No one's gonna just do it. So now all the G7 countries, well, China rejects calling Russian. Yeah, that was the news. So she's like the speaker of China. Wait, what? Even as it advises citizens there to stay home, or at least take the precaution of displaying a Chinese flag if they needed to drive anywhere. I see. So for Chinese citizens in Ukraine, they're urging them to display the flag so that they're friendly, so they don't get attacked by Russia. I'm pretty sure Russian military had an order, don't attack any Chinese nationals. But this is war. You're gonna get collateral damage. Jeez. What are they... Anyway, this has been a lot of development, guys. I hope I help you guys stay informed a little bit better. I hope we go green today. I hope, but anything can happen. So, I'm actually late for work. Thank you guys for staying around, and I really enjoy you guys tuning in. I will hope to see you